Go. Taylor Davis had a chance to catch up with Vandy head coach Clark Lee.
Well, Coach, an efficient first drive. How can your offense continue to move the chains against their defense?
Well, you know, I thought the first one, the last one had some opportunities there too. It's going to be about winning the margins, and I think we're close. You know, I think the calls have been creative. I think AJ's doing a nice job. We just got to stay with it. I think right now it's about getting a stop and getting the ball back to those guys.
Absolutely. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Joe Milton's pass is complete and then dropped. I think Vandy will have it. Yes, they will. The Commodores come up with a turnover. C.J. Taylor, who has been out the last 3 games with an injury, picks up the fumble from Squirrel White. C.J. Taylor, the junior, and maybe their best defensive player, and you can see why.
And here, just a great job putting his hand on the ball by Jalen Mahoney. Ball out, picked up by C.J. Taylor, Johnny on the spot. But that's what Clark Lee talked about. He talked about for his team creating turnovers, and that's a created turnover opportunity for Vanderbilt, negating a scoring opportunity for the Tennessee Volunteers.
C.J. Taylor's been out with a bad ankle, and this week was battling the flu, but wasn't going to miss an opportunity to finish up the regular season. And came up with the turnover. I'm not sure what Ken Williams, my referee, is still standing over the football. I guess he's just waiting to.
Moving on the field with a catch, fumble, and recovery by the defensive team. That previous play is still in review.
Boy, if I'm Vanderbilt, I'm like, why are we not playing? Either signal we're going to review it, but just don't stand over the football.
And as we take a look here, yeah, I mean, they're looking to see if his knee was down on the catch.
That ball's out. Look, to me, the
ball's out.
He turned and made a football move.
I totally agree, but when you look at the catch itself, right there is what they're looking at to see if his knee is down. There's no doubt to me the ball is out.
When the ball hits his hands,
yes.
Is his knee down?
Correct.
Is what you're saying.
Correct.
Right? Yeah, and you might have a point right there. It's hard to see. It was on the 0, the white, his white left knee. He may be dead on with this one, Coach. Look at that left knee.
Right
Boom.
there.
If you freeze it when the knee is down, let's see where the ball is. Let's see if we can freeze it.
Right there.
And I think you're right. I think this is going to stay with Tennessee.
Because the knee goes down and then it comes up.
Boy, from a defensive perspective, if this goes back to Tennessee, it's got to be tough mentally to think you just created a turnover. Now you're going to go back out there and play some serious defense with Tennessee driving.
No doubt. Momentum killer. But ebb and flow of football games, response in games like this is what matters.
Boy, if you're Tennessee, you're like, hey, man, we just got a break. Big break.
Just dodge the bullet.
Yep. I think this is going to be, I think you're dead on. I think it's going to go back to Tennessee, and they're going to spot it right there at where his knee went down, which would have been right around the 39-yard line, just inside the 40. And you could tell by the getting out the notepads and the pens.
After further review, the runner completed the catch, and his knee was down at the 38.5-yard line prior to losing possession. Therefore, the Tennessee ball there, second down. Ball be placed in the right hash.
So now you got to stroll back out there if you're Vandy. C.J. Taylor thought he had a takeaway. Vanderbilt this year, they have intercepted the ball 12 times. They've had an interception, or they forced a turnover in every game this year. And their 12 interceptions tied for first in the conference, 14th in the country. Only 3 fumbles recovered, though.
Watch out for an explosive play here on second down.
Here's Joe Milton. He's going to keep it off the left side. Big Joe is tossed to the turf. Nate Clifton with the tackle.
Nate here running sideline to sideline. He's showing some speed and some range from the big fella out front.
6'5", 280, a graduate. There's Warren, the tight end, goes in motion. Milton dodges one man and goes toward the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Jacob Warren. 34 yards.
You watch Nate Clifton on the pressure here, but Joe Milton sidesteps and is able to find his target. Mr. Warren says, "Here I am."
That is the 3rd touchdown pass of the game for Joe Milton III, 19 on the year. His 3rd 3-touchdown passing game of his career, his 2nd with the Vols. Charles Campbell's streak continues now. 114 out of 114 in his career in point afters. Big Joe Milton, 6'5", 235. Hard to get. Has put up 21 points here in the first half. And it has really been a fantastic start for that man, Joe Milton. How about these numbers? We've played just less than a minute here in the second quarter, and he has thrown already for 207 yards and 3 touchdowns. Here's the kick from Turbyville. That will sail into the checkerboard and out to the 25-yard line. It will come. Meanwhile, A.J. Swan on the other side, 5 of 8, 61 yards. He has a touchdown. Vandy's had an opportunity for a couple of plays, and they have not been able to capitalize on that. They had a nice opening drive that tied it up at 7. And since then, they've had to punt it away. Patrick Smith will get the start at tailback on this series.
They're going to have to find a way to create some explosive plays here, because trying to walk the ball down the field versus this Tennessee defense is tough. Too good up front.
Swan. That pass is caught by Will Shepard. He's out over the 40 to the 42-yard line. Brought down there by...
Tell you what, that's an explosive play right on cue. Coming off the RPO action, creating the one-on-one matchup outside. That's what Vanderbilt's going to have to do in order to move the football. Run, run, run. With some opportunities to create some explosive passes on the perimeter. Five-man pressure.
Swan gets it off near side. Caught there by London Humphreys, the talented freshman out of Nashville, Tennessee, making the catch. And that'll be another Vanderbilt first down. Pickup of 10.
As I've watched London Humphreys this year, he's been impressive to watch. You know, he can sink his hips. He can get in and out of a route. He's got good hands. Young freshman is going to be a good player in the future.
Sherrill sets up near side. Swan sails it over the head of Will Shepard. Had some time to throw, but good coverage downfield by Tennessee.
As we see, just pushing the pocket, having an opportunity by Amari Thomas to be in the face of A.J. Swan. And it's tough when you got a big big fella barreling down your throat.
Two tight ends set on 2nd down and 10 for the Commodores. And it off right side. Patrick Smith inside the 40. Down to the 38. That should be good enough for another Commodore first down. A run of 10.
A little stretch action here. And again, just putting a hat on a hat. It's a great job on the edge with Vanderbilt and their tight ends. Their tight ends are doing a tremendous job of being able to seal these edges. Staying in 12 personnel. The flip action.
Patrick Smith to the 30-yard line. The flag comes in late.
Holding. Offense number 84.
Justin Ball didn't agree with that call, but referee Ken Williamson standing
2
5.
fouls on the play. Holding. Offense number 84. Offside. Defense number 90. These fouls will offset. We'll replay the down. First down.
So Dominic Bailey offsides for Tennessee. And Justin Ball, his holding will be nullified.
Contact on the sidelines. These guys are playing a physical ball game in those trenches.
Handoff goes to Cedric Alexander, who got the start at tailback today. Thought we'd see a little bit of A.J. Newberry. We haven't seen a freshman out of Grand Prairie, Texas yet today. It's been Alexander and Patrick Smith. Patrick, former New Jersey High School Offensive Player of the Year. And now you got the freshman Alexander. He's out of Austin, Texas. Averaged 11 yards per carry his senior year. Ran for almost 2,000 yards as a senior last year in Texas.
And defensive coordinator Tim Banks trying to switch up these looks.
Here is Ball. He stumbles down to the 34-yard line, a gain of about 1.5 yards. So here's another 3rd down coming up for Tennessee.
And actually there, Vanderbilt caught Tennessee in man-to-man coverage, tried to run the Y, delay screen, trying to get themselves in a manageable 3rd down situation. Here we go on 3rd down. Look for Tennessee to bring pressure. They want to get A.J. Swan off the spot and try to tighten down the coverage on these receivers on the outside. You see these defenders milling around the line of scrimmage, showing a pressure look.
Timeout. Vanderbilt. 2nd timeout of the half.
We'll take the break as well. Big 3rd down when we come back. 21-7 Tennessee out front. Go against South Carolina, 6 for 16.
You know, look for Vanderbilt to try to find a way to get the ball to Jaden McGowan. I mean, I think he's their most versatile receiver, and he's probably their best one-on-one matchup on the field right now. But look for Tennessee to mill around the line of scrimmage, show pressure, play a former single high.
Handoff right side. They'll give it to Patrick Smith, and that'll be a 1st down at the 25-yard line. A gain of 9. Boy, that jet sweep action has allowed Vandy to have some nice runs on the backside of that.
Well, man, they're doing a really good job with the eye candy, man, of being able to get holes off of the inside zone. So if they can continue, man, to keep moving Tennessee's eyes and getting guys to slide, there's an opportunity for them to crease them in the run game. The formation into the boundary.
First conversion of the day for Vanderbilt. 1 of 4 on 3rd downs. This time nowhere to run. Patrick Smith slammed to the turf. We're going to say the runner was down. James Pierce, though, He has made some nice plays here in the first half for Tennessee defensively.
James Pierce is just so active. I mean, you watch him with his hands here, man, he's able to play off the tight end, work vertical, man, and find himself in the backfield. And I tell you what, his size, his length, his speed, and athleticism make it really hard for those tackles and tight ends to be able to hold him on the edge.
Well, he's second in the conference in sacks. He's tied for 5th in tackles for loss. He now has 12.5 on the season. Swan. Pass caught over the middle. London Humphreys making the catch. That'll be a gain of 6, and here it'll be 3rd down and about 6.5.
Looks like they're going back to 12 personnel. No eye candy.
Swan going to the corner. I think he tried to dump it off to his running back, but he was all tangled up with an orange jersey over there. Actually, it was McGowan over there that was all tangled up with a Tennessee defender and just kind of threw it away.
Here, I think they were hoping for a holding play, because what happened was they were looking to run a pick flat combination with McGowan coming across the formation. He got held, and good defense by Tennessee.
Here's a 40-yard field goal attempt from Jacob Borchillo.
Tennessee.
Tennessee will take a timeout. Borchillo hadn't had a whole lot of work this year, just 9 attempts. Matter of fact, he's just 3 field goals since week 3 of the season.
30 seconds.
He's 6 of 9 on the year with a long of 44.
Tennessee's first charge timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
3 of his 6 makes came in that game against UNLV, so just haven't had a whole lot of opportunities for Jacob. Points a premium for Vanderbilt offensively this year, averaging just 22 points a game. That is 96th in the country, 14th in the SEC this year. So Hayball will hold it. Kick is on the way, and it is dead solid, perfect. Well executed by the Commodores. They get 3 on the board. Lead is 11, 8:29 to go before halftime. Texas and Oklahoma will join the league next year, and it will be a free-for-all.
It will be a free-for-all. A different-looking SEC in 2024.
Commodores win 11 plays, 54 yards, a little over 5 minutes off the clock for that 40-yard field goal to make it 21-10. Here is D. Williams. D to the 30, to the 35, and drop there. Let's go downstairs to Taylor Davis.
Just an injury update for you, Dave. Just a quick injury update for you, Dave. Cooper Mays was evaluated in the medical tent for a lower body injury. He came out, spent some time on the bike, was clearly uncomfortable, and hasn't picked up his helmet since. I'm told he is doubtful to return. So it will be Ollie Lane at center and Addison Nichols at left guard. The shuffling continues, Dave.
Man, seriously, I mean, I don't know how many more bodies they have to throw out there.
We talked about it earlier, just being a little razor thin.
Here's Jalen Wright around the far side. He'll be about a yard shy of the line to gain, which is at the 45-yard line. Gain of 9 on that first down play for Jalen Wright, who's had a heck of a season. 938 yards, 4 touchdowns on the year. Last year against the Commodores, how about 5 carries for 160 yards?
He put on the show.
By the way, that's about a 32-yard average per carry.
Yeah. I don't know if he was in track spikes or cleats.
Well, that's C.J. Taylor, who we told you had missed the last 3 games with an injury, maybe their best player defensively. Had an ankle injury. Now looks like he's got a little knee something going on there with a big knee brace. Also been battling the flu. I mean, it's just been it's been a mess for C.J., but certainly one of the more talented defensive players on that roster.
You know, he's super talented. When you look at his ability to go 0 to 60, he can cover a lot of grass. He's physical.
Here, Jalen inside the 40 down to the 39 of Vanderbilt. A gain of 17.
Guys getting hats on hats. And Jalen, with that quick first step, the ability to get to the second level.
Joe Milton steps up, fires near side, and they're going to say a catch.
Castle.
What a job by McAllen Castles. Twisting and turning and falling out of bounds. A gain of 28. Quick snap. Right. Trying to break a tackle. Does so. Still on his feet down to the 5-yard line. And it takes a swarm of white jerseys to bring him down.
And you see Joe Milton here. He sees it late, but throws a catchable ball. But what extension and body awareness by Castleman to get his feet down. What a catch.
Injured Vanderbilt player Bradley Mann, a defensive tackle, the sophomore to Jacksonville, is the injured Commodore. He's got a brace on that right knee, and it looks like the training staff looking at that particular side. So Tennessee continues to move the football down the field, over 300 yards of offense, and we have 7 minutes to play before halftime.
Well, we were talking about those woes and issues up front for Tennessee, but I tell you what makes a good offensive line is a good running back.
They got him. Jalen Wright, Jabari Small, Dylan Sampson, 3 really good ones. Throw in Joe Milton, the times that we've seen him run. As a matter of fact, we were here when he busted out the longest touchdown run by a Tennessee quarterback in school history when he went 81 yards. Throw it here, and that one is incomplete. They were trying to hit Castles again. Joe Milton has thrown for 236 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no picks in this game.
Staying in 12 personnel.
Little tap pass underneath. This time Vanderbilt read it well. Kane Patterson. He and his younger brother Langston Patterson, playing together for the last time, as Kane is a graduate out of Nashville and wrapping up his Vanderbilt career. Transferred in from Clemson to be closer to home. Got to play with his brother Langston, boy, who has really come into his own this half of this season.
Great tackle, great stop there by these Commodores.
Charles Campbell, who was 16 out of 20 to attempt a 24-yarder. Good clean snap. And the kick is up, and it is good. So Tennessee adds to their point total, put 24 on the board now for the Big Orange. Six plays, 59 yards.
And as we watch Tennessee, man, we've been able to see the balance of run and pass. The idea of getting Jalen Wright the football, but still making use of these tight ends and finding opportunities to push it down the field by this Tennessee Volunteer offense.
You know, when we talked to Josh Heupel earlier this week, and you know, I said, just kind of wrap your arms around this season, and you know, from your perspective. And he's right out of his mouth. He goes, just disappointing, Dave. I mean, that's the best way to say it. It's disappointing. Did not expect to be sitting here at 7-4.
Correct.
He said, you know, against Georgia, for instance, they had some critical plays in critical parts of the game, and they just weren't able to make those plays. And the guys played super hard, but there were 4 or 5 plays out there in big moments that we just didn't make. And last year, they made those plays.
And he was adamant about it. He was.
That kickoff through the back of the end zone. So Vanderbilt behind A.J. Swan. 153 yards, 96 of it through the air. A.J. 9 out of 14 in his first start in 6 games. What do you? How would you assess his performance to this point?
I think he's played well. I think it's about taking care of the football. That's one of the biggest things that A.J. Swan had an issue with, just his ability. I mean, he can make the big play, but he would actually turn the football over.
He'd make the big play, also the bad play.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's taking care of the football, and as long as he can do that, he'll keep his team in this.
Near side to Humphreys, makes the catch. He's out to the 34-yard line. And what's weird about his interceptions, you know, he started his career last year with Vanderbilt when he got the job to run the offense, completing 159 consecutive passes without an interception. So, I mean, he started, which is a Vanderbilt record.
Well, I think Clark talked about, you know, his confidence. And that's one thing about A.J. He's got a lot of confidence, believes in that arm. And so with that, you can tend to be a little reckless.
Let's go down to Taylor.
Yeah, guys, just to echo that sentiment, Coach Lee told us he really just needed a reset. And obviously he's been dealing with that elbow contusion all season, which would prevent him from getting into much of a rhythm at practice. And so I've seen him down here on the sideline. He's spending a lot of time with Ken Seals and Walt Taylor. And when you talk to the coaches about these quarterbacks, they talk about how each of them has different strengths. He's talked to Ken a lot about what he's seeing out there, and Walt's kind of talking to him about his throwing arm. So it's interesting seeing them collaborate.
They've all had a little taste of running the show this year. Lofts it up. Nice throw. Speaking of great throws, Shepard makes the catch, stays on his feet inside the 40, down to the 36-yard line. Boy, Clark League talks about throwing a catchable ball.
Look, he throws the prettiest ball. He puts this thing up. It's up in the air before Will Shepard even gets his eyes back. It gets up, it gets down. Man, we continue to see this out of A.J. Swan. A.J. Swan has an opportunity and to definitely show exactly what he's capable of and keep his team in this ball game.
He'll play fake. A.J. Swan, pocket collapses, and he will be dropped at the 40-yard line. James Pierce, the first one there, who was second in the conference in sacks. And his teammates piled on. Tyree West in there.
You have to have a clock in your head. In here, you step by one, but Omar Lott continues, or Amari Thomas, excuse me, continues to push the pile. So every time that we're looking at this front, and there's different guys showing up, continuing to apply pressure on this pocket.
16th consecutive game with at least 1 sack for Tennessee. Streak began in November of last year against Missouri. That one is off somebody and bounces way backwards. Justin Ball was the intended receiver, double covered there by McCullough, among others. And now it's another 3rd down opportunity for Tennessee to get off the field.
And it's a long 3rd down. Expect pressure from this Tennessee Volunteer defense, but Vanderbilt.
6 will punt it away after all that is said and done. D. Williams stands back at the 15. It's a low line drive, returnable kick. Williams coming near side, now cuts it back up the middle, stays on his feet, and a nice return out to the 45-yard line. So time for some football. So 2:34 to go before halftime. We'll step aside for a moment. A bit here after that timeout. Joe Milton back in at quarterback. He will hand it off. And a gain of about 2 or 3 out to midfield. And just to clarify some things, there were some numbers that were a little off kilter a bit. The 2 personal fouls against Tennessee went against Dominic Bailey and Tyler Barron, and they were wrestling with 64 for Vanderbilt, Xavier Castillo. Those are the 3 personal fouls. Here is Joe Milton dancing around. Nifty moves inside the 40. Good enough for a first down. Brought down by Ethan Barr, but a pickup of 12.
And you look here, I mean, anytime you have Joe Milton versus a 3-man rush, good luck.
Milton. This time won't get out of trouble. He is dropped near the power tee at the 48-yard line. Kane Patterson finally wraps him up. That'll be a loss of 7.
And it was a pressure by Ethan Barr, and then nice job just staying with it.
Ollie Lane now at center.
Offside, by contact, defense number 99. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Devin Lee. And he will jog it off to the sidelines.
That's the one that used to get me sometimes when you had the big fella over the ball.
Yeah, what do you do? You're looking right at it.
Yeah, I'm just anxious, Coach. I got you.
Second down and 12. Got to get it near the 30-yard line for a first down. Clock approaching 1 minute to go before halftime. He's coming near side with it. Here's Jalen Wright. He'll have a first down inside the 30, down to the 27-yard line. A gain of 15.
You know, when you watch Jalen Wright sometimes, his contact balance is just so good. His ability to stick his foot in the ground and get to the second level, you love it. But, man, just the balance, power. It's impressive.
Boy, Vandy substituting. Milton throws on the run. Boy, that is a 95-mile-an-hour fastball to the outside to Squirrel White. Second down and 3. Here's Wright. Nice patience at the line of scrimmage. He'll have the first down inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line. Another 5 yards for Jalen Wright.
And another good block by Gerald Mincy.
Milton just going to keep it himself.
Off the QB lead.
There is a flag down in the middle of the line of scrimmage.